Sometimes watching a movie just isn't enough. You also
Back in that 4 year period of my life where I would watch YouTube videos, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I would watch the same YouTube videos over and over again instead of getting something new. Um, and one of the ones that I remember is Cinema Sins' movie recipes series. The original, he sort of like brought it back a couple years later. But hold on, like there was two things of it, two sort of series of it. The first one was more sarcastic, where the recipe was disgusting, and then he brought it back like 3 years later, but made it like delicious. He hired professional chefs to make a recipe based off whatever film it was, and I didn't really like it. Probably because it was on for 5 minutes an episode. These are only on for like 3 minutes at most, probably. So I'm gonna react to the films that I've watched. Yeah. I'm not gonna watch the other films just because of the video. Like, there are some that I'm probably interested in, but I know there's some that I'm not interested in. Like, he does one for After Earth. Anyway.
today we're going to show you how to make a Great Gatsby cocktail. That is, a cocktail that tastes exactly like the movie, The Great Gatsby. The Great Gatsby cocktail is a frozen cocktail to replicate the icy cold New York City the movie presents. So you'll need...
Well, the film is mostly a flashback. Because it takes place during the economic boom that happened right before the Great Depression. And then the icy cold New York he's talking about is during the Depression. And it doesn't really, there's not a lot there. You know, the film mostly takes place as a flashback to before the Depression. But anyway.
Ice cream. Now you want to find the most pretentious ice cream flavor you can. For my purposes today, I went with a chai tea and chocolate ginger cookies. Now you may not have that exact flavor in your local grocery, but just walk down the ice cream aisle and read the flavor names to yourself. When you get to one that makes you want to punch someone in the face, you've found your ice cream. Next we need a liquor, because this is a...
Yeah, the film is very... I don't even know what to call it, but I didn't like it. It was boring, but really the problem I had with it was the music. Because they use like sort of modern like rap songs like Welcome to My House. For some reason. I thought like what? Then I watched Peaky Blinders, which does something similar. Like it takes place about 20 years before. And it uses like rock songs, and the soundtrack for Peaky Blinders is fantastic. I'm probably only because I like rock songs, I don't like rap songs. I do understand why they picked the songs that they did for Great Gatsby, but I feel like that, like, once they actually add them in and listen to it, they'll actually know that doesn't fit, but they kept it. Anyway.
Cocktail, not a milkshake. We're going to go with Gentleman Jack because it's classy as just like Great Gatsby. And also because Leonardo once played a character named Jack in Titanic, another movie that was also classy as The Great Gatsby is ultimately...
Yeah, it is a very classy film.
About Leonardo DiCaprio's heartbreak, so we need some Leo tears. Now those aren't as easy to come by as you might think, but fortunately artificial tears are close enough to give us the same effect. The secret ingredient...
I have no idea what he's talking about there. By the way, I never finished the film. I just got bored and deleted it off the Skybox.
Is a healthy dose of Old Sport seasoning. Now do not skimp on this, people.
I don't know. Probably because the film takes place 80 years ago by the time that video was made. What was I going to say? I was going to say something. Oh, I did watch a good bit of the film, like maybe 40 minutes to an hour, or somewhere between 40 to 80 minutes of the film. I don't know how long it was on for. So it wasn't just like 5 minutes and I gave up.
You need lots of that. Finally, garnish with a lit cigarette and enjoy.
He does the lit cigarette thing quite a bit for some reason. Yeah. I haven't watched Forrest Gump. Haven't watched the Terrence Malick film. Haven't watched After Earth. Iron Man 3.
Sometimes watching a movie. Today we're going to show you how to make an Iron Man 3 birthday cake. That is, a birthday cake that tastes exactly like Iron Man 3. Start with a store-bought cake mix. Why should you invent the wheel when you can just borrow from those who have come before? The original...
I'm guessing that he's saying like the plot of Iron Man 3 ripped off another film. I just can't think of what it is. Iron Man 3 wasn't really that memorable for me. I liked it. Like, I remember that when the film came out, my dad rented a DVD. I watched it with his uncle, and I saw or my uncle, I mean his brother. And I saw, like, the start where I had, like, the red stuff going on, going, what? Because I didn't know that aliens existed within... I thought Iron Man 3 was realistic, except for the suit. I hadn't watched an MCU film at the time. So I took from that Iron Man 3 was a bad film. Most people thought it was a bad film. I don't know what people generally think about the film. I thought it was alright, just forgettable. But I just don't know what he means.
Recipe calls for mandarin orange, but in order to make the Iron Man 3 birthday cake, you need to substitute an actual orange that merely acts like a mandarin orange.
Maybe it's because I've watched this video so many times for watching Iron Man 3, but I feel like there is a connection between mandarins and Iron Man 3.
A few drops of extremis, which can be found at any farmer's market.
I don't know what extremis is.
And 3 birthday cake recipe calls for pepper. Too much pepper.
And I just realized that I don't think this is my first time watching this video. After watching Iron Man 3, it's probably my second or maybe even third time watching it. But now I just realized that what he means by too much pepper is pepper pots.
Stir it all together. You probably didn't add enough pepper, so go ahead and add some more. Add an Iron Man action figure to the center of the pan to entice people to eat the dish.
Add Iron Man into the film so that people watch it. I'm guessing he means that it's nothing like an Iron Man film. By the way, this video came out not long after Iron Man 3 came out.
Now, no birthday cake is complete without a message written in icing. You can use happy birthday if you want, but I would recommend finding a way to summarize in a short few words what the movie says to you.
Yeah, I can tell you didn't like the film.
We're serving, remember to remove the action figure because there is no Iron Man in Iron Man 3. Take a shot of...
That is kind of true. Like, it's just mainly him dealing with PTSD because of the events of Avengers.
Ski, call a kid a pussy, and enjoy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure to do that in the film. My God. Don't give me an ad, please.
YouTube Premium gives you ad-free videos, mobile downloads, and background play.
Sometimes watching a movie... Today we're going to show you how to make a Fight Club omelette. That is, an omelette that tastes exactly like the movie Fight Club. First of all, do not make this omelette, you worthless piece of crap. But if you do, you sure as hell better not f***ing talk about it. You know what? Don't even watch this video. There's no recipe here. Go the f*** away. Still there? Fine. Start with eggs, but only the most pretentious eggs you can find. Like, the IKEA of eggs is what we're going for. Once you get your omelet started, you need interior ingredients to fill it with. But like Fight Club, this omelet is f***ing random and unpredictable. So, go to the supermarket.
When I first heard him say that the film was random and unpredictable, I thought he meant that, like, somehow, every time you watch it, something different happens, but I do understand what he means now. Unless you have seen the film before, or you've looked at the plot or anything like that, like, unless you know what happens, you cannot guess it. It's a very random film, but it does make sense, and it is a fantastic film. Also, this bit right here, I'm actually surprised I was able to pause on that exact moment, but like in films in general, or maybe just like older films, that use multiple reels, and there'd be this sort of circle in the top right corner to indicate when it would change from reel to reel. And Fight Club actually points that out. And there's certain bits where it will whatever.
Right now. Go. Find a guy who just checked out, preferably a single guy or bachelor, someone with 1 or 2 bags of groceries. Beat the hell out of him right there in the exit vestibule. Make sure he bleeds somehow. If possible, gather a small crowd around you and have them all take off their shirts and cheer the fight on. Steal his groceries and
yeah, that's not one. Fight Club. Fight Club, out of the 3 of these films so far, is the one I've seen most recently.
Return home before you burn your eggs. Hopefully you'll have better luck than I did. I ended up with Doritos, a chocolate bar, coffee, Mentos, and pickles. Now simply chop up or otherwise resize the random ingredients and place them in the omelette. Fold it over and finish cooking. Garnish with a lit firecracker. Violent.
Man of Steel.
Sometimes watching a movie just isn't enough. You also want to eat that movie. And that's why there's movie recipes.
Man of Steel technically is the most recent film I've seen because last year I got the DVD of it and I got 38 minutes in, but the DVD stopped working at that point, so I finished it recently, like a couple months ago. Fight Club was somewhere at the start of the year. Iron Man 3 was not long, like a couple of days before Endgame came out. And Great Gatsby, sometime in year 11, I think.
Today we're going to show you how to make a Man of Steel gingerbread Superman cookie. That is a gingerbread Superman cookie that tastes exactly like the movie Man of Steel.
I thought there was such thing as a gingerbread Superman cookie. But no, what he means by gingerman Superman cookie is that it's a gingerbread man that he makes look like Superman, basically.
Start with the store-bought gingerbread dough, because we don't want to get too original here. Roll the dough while singing bits of Russell Crowe's songs from Les Mis.
Russell Crowe is in Man of Steel. That's it. And also the plot of Man of Steel. It's about General Zod, who was the bad guy in, I think, Superman 2. I've seen Superman 1, Superman 2, I didn't watch 3 and 4, Superman Returns, and Man of Steel. I have not seen the Supergirl movie, either.
Now, prisoner 24601, keep garbage off the street. Because Crowe is carrying Man of Steel, serving as the dough that holds whatever drama exists together.
From what I remember, he just provides exposition.
Add chili powder, because that is serious business, just like the film. Spread on a layer of mayonnaise, because this movie is the whitest thing you've ever seen. Even Lawrence Fishburne is playing a white guy.
Lawrence Fishburne plays Perry White, who is a white guy in the comics and in films and all. Also, the film is extremely bright. Like, my granny I watched the last part of the film, 38 minutes onwards with my granny. And she usually complains that all these films are so dark physically. I can't see anything. And goes, oh, there you go, you can't complain. Although I can't see anything. What do you mean you can't see anything? The brighter it is, the more visible it is.
With the dough in a derogatory manner. You suck! Will come out as angry as Zod. Ah! Cut the dough into 2 giant
The film is the character's very angry.
Bake at 350 for 15 minutes. While the cookies bake, punch everything. Finally, once the
There are a lot of punches thrown in the film.
Piece of cool, decorate them so they look like Zod and Superman. Rip off the head of the Zod cookie for no reason, and in one fluid motion...
Yeah, for some reason, Superman twists Zod's neck. He snaps his neck. Doesn't rip it off. He just goes like... Ah! Dead. I don't exactly remember why. I think he was just talking crap about Superman or someone Superman knows. Anyway.
Flush Superman down the toilet. Garnish with pieces of Breaking Bad meth for the kryptonite that doesn't really exist in this movie, but maybe should have. And enjoy.
There is no kryptonite in the film. This would have been around the point that Breaking Bad ended, so we just really wanted to do a Breaking Bad reference. That's the end of it. I'm guessing he's deleted them, but he used to have JFK Gamer, who used to call YouTube remakes these videos talking about like the story of Call of Duty characters, but he also made his own version of the movie recipes series, but instead of making it about gaming, I think he's deleted all of them though. And that's what actually got me into the cooking recipe series, because saw JFK Gamer's version, and the description was like based off Cinema Sins one. So I better check that out. Yep, they're deleted. Sorry, I was just deleting that video that I uploaded. So this is Brand Sins, which is, I think it was like sort of created by the creator of Cinema Sins, but it's not narrated by him. It was narrated by some girl for like 2 or 3 or maybe 4 videos, or 5. But then she left and came another guy. So I'm gonna do brands that I like. Starting with YouTube. I'm not gonna. Screw it. Well, I was gonna say that I'm not gonna go through the entire video and react to him. I'm just gonna, get up to a certain point, pause, rewind, play it, go, what are you talking about? You're stupid, whatever. But instead, I'm just gonna play the whole thing. Hopefully, nothing is copyrighted. This YouTube video is very creepy, so you've been warned.
Hi.
Welcome to YouTube, the home of cinema.
I don't know who that is.
Assholes who pick things apart for fun.
Uncle Ben picks up perfectly solved Rubik's Cube and then puts it back messed up.
This isn't icy hot, you shithead. Oh wait. YouTube partially.
Yeah, but the thing is that the Spider-Man one, yeah, Cinema Sins has always been a sort of parody. Because there's like this one bit where he goes like, Emma Stone's first scene in Amazing Spider-Man, which is the first thing that he did. He's like, oh, she's not doing a lap dance. Like, yeah, you should have used that, because the thing about Uncle Ben picking up a character, or picking up a Rubik's Cube that was unsolved, but he puts it down and it's solved, despite the fact he didn't like fiddle with it or anything. You shouldn't have used that, because that's a valid point. I might have mentioned that in my Flash video.
recommends videos based on a brilliant little circular theory called information cascade. Lots of people watched it, so lots of people should watch it. And that's why we spend hours feeling like...
This is... yeah. But maybe that's why I spent 4 years watching the same videos over and over again. I'm glad I've got out of that cycle. Speaking of, get off YouTube. Do not watch YouTube. Instead, watch TV, watch movies. There's some great stuff out there. If you want to recommend, get some stuff.
YouTube invented the saddest creature on the internet, a video with 0 views. That means that their own makers didn't even want to watch them. The motherfucking fucking Harlem Shake. Just because you're a female does not give you the qualifications to offer makeup tutorials.
Mascara, mascara. I wish I could fly.
The Content ID system allows copyright holders to claim monetization on videos that use their copyrighted material, even if said videos fall under fair use and are completely legal. If you try to fight them, they can still collect revenue on that video for up to 90 days. The Content ID system also allows copyright holders to issue takedown notices based on tags in your video. That means you could film yourself standing in your room shadowboxing, tag it with the words Fight Club, and Fox could take it down. Frozen covers.
Do the Fox, 21st Century Fox, I was thinking of Fox, the channel.
Let me poop.
YouTube is a place where anyone and everyone can post pretty much anything they want, and that seems like a great leap forward in technology, until you see this.
You're probably wondering what I'm doing. Well, I'm cutting off my daughter's legs.
Which leads to this.
You're so very special.
Some
Maybe that bit, like, sort of led to me having this sort of idea, but there's a combination of things that led to it. Maybe that's the start of it. But, you know, YouTube, it's a great system. You know, great idea. Anyone can upload whatever they want. Because it used to be that if you had, like, some sort of film, you would have to sort of submit it to a film festival. Like Quentin Tarantino, he had to do that for Reservoir Dogs. But now you can just upload it to YouTube. But it then leads to stuff like that. The way I see it, everyone has the right to a platform. Everyone should have the opportunity or ability or whatever to upload to YouTube. But just because you have that opportunity or ability does not mean you should use it. Case in point, me. I really should not be making videos.
ads are actually longer than the video that follows.
And there's this ad right here. Look how long it's supposed to be going on for. That's just 48 minutes.
The number one most
Yeah, that's happened to me recently. I went to watch a 30-second video and got a 50-second ad. I didn't record it though, I just took screenshots and sent it into Discord.
subscribed channel on YouTube consists of one guy playing video games and screaming into a mic. Quality entertainment. More content is uploaded.
No, what I think he does is just react to Reddit.
To YouTube in 60 days than the 3 major television networks have created in the past 60 years. Judging by the quality of said content, that should come as no surprise.
Mitten, we already fed you. Get down from there.
When YouTube beat Viacom's copyright lawsuit, YouTube's founder Chad Hurley sent Viacom's founder a taunting tweet, asking if he wanted to grab a beer and celebrate. That is the internet equivalent of yelling out nanny boo-boo. Honestly, does it really matter what a video is about? If there are boobs in the thumbnail, over 1 million 14-year-old boys will click to watch it. The first words spoken on YouTube were,
Here we are, in front of the elephants.
what he should have said was, so here we are in front of the cats. YouTube affirms all the crazy cat ladies. It's alright to be a crazy cat lady. Look how crazy these cat ladies are. At least you're not that crazy, leading to the inevitable cat takeover of 2030 and ultimately suffocating eHarmony's business. Finally, after 100,000 teenagers explained what's in their beach bags, I now know what to bring to the beach.
First, I have my beach towel.
The first and most
He shouldn't have been that specific. He should have just said that, you know, people are saying really obvious stuff on YouTube all the time.
necessary thing you need for your beach bag is a towel.
A beach towel. Obviously a towel, and normally I like to bring 2 towels to the beach. A beach towel, because you can't go to the beach without a towel.
When our list-based channel is going to run out of material? Oh wait, they already did. Top 10 wrongfully accused movie characters. Top 10 Ebola facts. Top 10 things you didn't know about Bitcoin. Top 10 horrible ways to die?
Right, the Ebola facts and things you didn't know about Bitcoin and horrible ways to die, they're fine, but top 10 wrongfully accused movie characters, yeah, that's definitely a Watch Mojo thing. That's stupid. The other 3 are fine though.
House tours, a serial killer's dream. Here's my house, here's my bed, and this is where I sleep at night. Due to the massive influx of content creators on YouTube over the past several years, ad revenues have plummeted. The most lucrative pre-roll ads that appear before a video dropped from an average $9.35 per thousand views in 2012 to $6.33 in 2013. Channels that consist of people doing stupid challenges that might kill them, or make them look like they belong in an insane asylum.
So there's 38, 39, 41.
Daily vlogs, because everyone is just dying to know what you do every second of your life. Onision.
Sometimes I like to watch you change.
In 2013, YouTube introduced a paid subscription service. The rules to joining this highly exclusive club is that you had to have 1,000 subscribers and upload videos. An example of one of the best of these channels is
Actually, I better wait a bit.
Miss Lovely Coco, a channel that specializes in twerk videos that you can have access to for a mere $299 a month. In fact,
So a couple things I forgot to mention. One, the video, the zero views thing, I thought that was like a one-time thing. Like, somehow, every single video on YouTube has at least one view. But then I started uploading some of my videos, have been uploaded for a while and have 0 views. Yeah. I had a couple other things to say, but I forgot them. No, I'm not going to go back or anything like that.
here are a few YouTubers that have been accused of sexual harassment.
Oh, the only Sion thing, I thought he was just an asshole. Because I had first heard from this video. But no, he's actually a genuinely bad person.
Bonus!
Who's next?
Coca-Cola was originally formulated at a drugstore in Columbus, Georgia as a coca wine. You know what else is extracted from coca leaves? I don't know, cocaine?
Man, where'd you get that?
My sister gave it to me.
It's like Coke.
Yeah, it smells like Coke too.
In 1885, Coca-Cola was registered as a nerve tonic and was sold as medicine that could cure several diseases, such as morphine addiction, neurasthenia, dyspepsia, headaches, and impotence. During World War II, Coca-Cola factories remained in operation in Germany. You know, where Hitler is, he's a bad guy. When the German Coca-Cola factories could no longer obtain the ingredients for Coke, they created Fanta to stay in operation in Nazi Germany. After World War II,
I know the Coca-Cola company or foundation, whatever else called, owns Fanta, but you can't really blame Coke for that.
Coca-Cola Company happily took over the Fanta product and added it to its product arsenal.
Don't you wanna?
Cola sales were plummeting, and no one knew why. What was happening? Were people tired of the flavor? Coke's solution? New Coke. New Coke was quickly boycotted by the American consumers. Plus, they
Wait, why?
used this guy as their spokesperson.
It's Coca-Cola with a new taste, a new sensation, a new explosion of wonderfulness in your mouth. Go ahead, try it. That's all I'm going to say. In fact, that's all I have to say. No more words. This stuff is great.
They couldn't have known. Well, okay, fine. They might have known that, what do you call him? I forget the guy's name. Bill Cosby was a pedo. I don't know when the accusation started, but you said that was 1985. I'm pretty sure all the stuff happened in the 90s.
2000, Coca-Cola settled a large $192.5 million class action racial discrimination lawsuit. The lawsuit, filed in 1999, accused Coke of having a corporate hierarchy that didn't allow advancement for African Americans.
And I believe this shit, because they don't give a damn about you. They don't like you. I don't like you.
This averaged to $26,000 a year less than white workers. Because Coke...
They say that the gender wage gap is a big thing, but you haven't seen the race wage gap.
Until that this was inappropriate, the settlement gave an outside panel authority to revise company personnel policies. The panel would also be in charge of making sure Coke promoted and paid minority workers and women on an equal playing field.
Has the whole world gone crazy? Am I the only one around here who gives a shit about the rules?
The Coca-Cola Company owns the bottled water brand Dasani. In 2004, the company tried to launch a campaign in the UK. Their slogan, as pure as bottled water gets. But the Food Standards Agency found high levels of bromate in it. Bromate is a chemical that's suspected of increasing cancer risk. Additionally, they also revealed that their water was really just purified tap water. So, congrats. You just spent $3 on a fancy blue bottle. Oh.
Never mind. Basically, you can't get Dasani in the UK. So their marketing campaign or whatever just didn't work here.
And Dasani drops? Yeah, let's put chemicals in my water to make it sweet.
I'm guessing Dasani. I've had Dasani in America. It tastes just like your regular water. But I'm guessing Dasani drops are just like diluting drops, basically. Like it just drops some diluting in there.
In 2009, the Coke campaign, Open Happiness, was unveiled globally. The idea that my happiness can only exist by drinking carbonated syrup ultimately makes me question humanity. Unfortunately for Coke, Americans don't agree that Coke brought happiness and their sales declined by 10% that year. Aww.
I opened up to you and you judged me. You're an asshole. You're an asshole. Forget it.
Shut the fuck up. Despite India being the fastest growing demographic for Coca-Cola, the company is literally poisoning and starving residents in water-stressed areas of the country. Coca-Cola operates 52 bottling plants in India. Because of droughts and extensive use of excess water by these plants, many residents believe Coca-Cola is to blame for the lack of groundwater. Additionally, the amount of waste being dumped into remaining water sources has polluted whatever precious liquid was left behind. In 2004, the Center of Science and Environment found that Coke manufactured in India had 30 times the level of pesticide residues permitted under the European Union regulations.
Since 1999, there have been protests. We are non-violent. We just want this factory to close. Coca-Cola is using up millions of liters of clean drinking water every day here. The groundwater level has come down more than 60 meters. They just pour their wastewater out into our fields, and thereby they destroy our harvest.
In 2014, Indian officials closed a number of Coca-Cola bottling plants due to local protests and health risk. Also in 2014, Coke launched a 60-calorie, low-sugar, stevia-sweetened beverage called Coke Life?
I had one bottle of Coke Life in my life, no pun intended, but it was when it was launched, it was quickly cancelled. I do not remember what it tastes like. All I really remember is that it's healthier than Coke, but not as healthy as Coke Zero. I know that Coke Zero is still very unhealthy, but you get right. Coke Zero says there's no sugar, and so does Diet Coke and all. But I think like Coke Life had probably, let's say, half the amount of sugar that regular Coke does, which is just stupid to sell that.
On February 3rd, 2015, Coca-Cola announced that they'll be distributing lactose-free milk called Fairlife. Fairlife supposedly contains half the sugar, 50% additional protein, and 30% greater calcium than regular milk.
So at Fairlife, we had an idea. What if we created one-of-a-kind filters to gently separate out each component according to its size? Eureka! So, after running the cold milk through our filters, we simply recombine the components to create whatever highly nutritious recipes we want. We can add twice the protein, take out the lactose, you name it. This allows us to craft nutritious products that also taste great. Fairlife.
What? And did you know that Coca-Cola is known for being...
I don't really see the problem with Fairlife. I've never really had it. I don't even know if it exists in America, because I probably watched this video before I went to America, and I think I looked for it and I just couldn't find it, so I don't think it actually exists. But What I think the problem with Fairlife is that it's a GMO, genetically modified organism, and people constantly are going about how bad it is. I watched a video. I don't know if the video exists anymore because the guys deleted a bunch of his videos. But like I watched a video talking about how GMOs are actually a good thing, and it convinced me mainly because I hadn't really done any research into the negatives. Like I didn't mention the negatives.
Really great at repelling insects, killing snails and slugs, cleaning car battery terminals and burnt cooking pans, loosening rusty bolts, making old pennies and chrome shine again, cleaning car engines, cleaning tile grout, stripping paint, and removing oil stains from anything.
What is the Netflix password?
Netflix was established in 1997 as a subscription-based DVD by mail service, who, within its lifetime, helped transform and revolutionize the consumption of online video streaming, as well as lead the burial ceremony for all rental late fees and thus destroying millions of dollars in revenue for Blockbuster and Hollywood videos everywhere.
It's so senseless. Damn you, Roger.
Netflix, the current epitome of binge watching, actually used to discourage it. When it was solely a DVD service, Netflix would throttle its most frequent users with long wait delivery times.
The clock is the enemy. The basic rule is this. The more you look at the clock, the slower the time goes.
According to a BTIG analyst, it's estimated that Netflix commands 87 minutes more attention per US household per day than any other American cable network, which basically means their subscriber base of 29.2 million people waste almost 2 hours a day in a vegetative state, binge-watching House of Cards and Orange is the New Black.
That's because House of Cards is a great show. Orange is the Black I'm not a fan of, but I mean, American Netflix is Wentworth, which is basically just the Australian version of Orange is the New Black, and Wentworth is good, but I've only seen one episode.
Okay, I watched it on my way to work, caught some episodes at my desk, and I started season 2 while you were sleeping.
Season 2? That's 10% of the American population. So, you've never been a huge movie fan, but suddenly feel the need to watch a variety of cinematic classics? Lucky for you, with very little effort, you may now Netflix them. Behold. With Netflix, many Americans are now privy to the fact that there are foreign versions of movies and TV shows they were searching for.
That's funny, I'm watching the British House of Cards right now.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch the tiger by the toe. If he hollers, let him go.
In 2000, Netflix launched a movie recommendation system based on individual rankings of films and movies previously watched. Meaning, when my girlfriend watches Gossip Girl, my Netflix suggestions turns into an estrogen ocean. But on the other hand, when my roommate watches softcore porn, well, it turns into a different kind of estrogen ocean. About 75 to 80...
I'm hoping that, like, maybe 2.5 second scene doesn't get me striked or whatever. Also, I don't understand how someone watching porn ends up with you getting recommended girly stuff on Netflix. Unless you're watching porn on Netflix, but as far as I know, there is no porn on Netflix. Unless Netflix is, like, monitoring what you watch. So if you watch it on your computer, then you also watch porn on your computer. Then that, same like that, like I say, I am really interested in House of Cards UK. My YouTube and Google, Facebook and whatever is going to get filled up with DVDs of House of Cards UK.
Of what people watch on Netflix comes from what Netflix recommends. Clearly, the population has a lot of trust in Netflix. Thanks, Netflix, for showing us ratings based solely upon popular opinion. Thank you, Jen. Popular opinion also defines Chuck Lorre as the hottest thing in TV right now. But with shows like 2.5 Men and Big Bang Theory, they can't be wrong.
That is a fair point. Those shows aren't funny. Like, literally 2.5 Men just copied the plot of Friends, because, like, what 2.5 Men is that, like, this guy's wife says, oh, I think I'm a lesbian, I'm gonna leave you and all. I'm taking the house. So the guy moves into his brother's house. which is pretty similar to what happens in Friends. And as for Big Bang Theory, I've never actually seen an episode of it. But, I mean, the laugh track goes off when Sheldon knocks on a door and says Penny. Like, how's that funny?
Bazinga. Have you ever heard
That's another thing. He said Bazinga. Okay, and?
of the brilliant, goofy TV shows Black Hawk Down and Killing Season? Oh, or what about that violent movie Glee? But my all-time favorite Netflix...
I wouldn't really say that Chuck, White Collar, or Derek are violent either.
watch would definitely be the children's film Pulp Fiction. Hey Netflix, thanks for leaving all this propaganda in the documentary section, as if I needed more reasons to think the world is corrupt. I have 200 movies in my queue, but let's face it, I'm only watching 4 episodes of The Office tonight, and, well, half of my queue will be removed next month. In 2011, Netflix experienced some growing pains when they decided to raise their prices from $8 a month to $16 a month. Naturally, people freaked the out.
You maniacs! God damn you all to hell!
Also, do you remember Netflix's attempt to create Quickster? Yeah, neither does the rest of the country. In 2014, Netflix announced that they would be streaming in high-definition 4K. But wait, only if you have a compatible TV and a strong enough internet connection.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Like, if your TV can't process 4K, then you will not be able to have 4K. That is not Netflix's fault. That's just how TVs work. Same goes for the internet connection.
I do love watching movies in 240p on my 55-inch Ultra HD TV. I can see all 4 pixels. Remember when Netflix used to stream South Park? I do too. Produce an additional season, and...
I've made a huge mistake.
In 2010, Netflix became available on Apple's iPad, iPhone, and other...
Yeah, season 4 of Arrested Development wasn't that good. Because what happened was that almost every single main star from Arrested Development became big movie stars after. Because, like, Jason Bateman was busy doing Horrible Bosses. Michael Cera, he did, like, Superbad and all. Alia Shawkat did Transparent. Jeffrey Tambor did Transparent. Jessica Walters did Archer. Will Arnett did BoJack Horseman. Portia de Rossi retired because she's married to Ellen DeGeneres. She doesn't really need to do anything. She's rich. Who else? And the others are doing some other stuff. So because of that, it was impossible for all of them to be together at the same time to do Arrested Development Season 4. So what they decided to do was make an episode for each character. But it was out of order. So then Netflix made a remix of it. Like if you go on, I'm going to go on the Arrested Development right now. So yeah, if you go into Arrested Development, it'll bring you Season 1, Season 2, Season 3. Then there's Season 5. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But then Season 4 doesn't say Season 4, it says Season 4 Remix, Faithful Consequences. So yeah. It's not necessarily their fault. Also, another thing that Season 4 did was that they upgraded the camera quality because it wasn't really that good for Seasons 1, 2, and 3, but it added a sort of charm to it. Same way that for, like, I think Season 4, 5 of Always Sunny in Philadelphia, they upgraded the camera quality, which I wasn't a big fan of. The show is still extremely funny, though.
Internet-connected devices. Great! I love to watch Wolf of Wall Street on my 5-inch screen. Oh man, I've really been looking for a way to burn through my entire data plan in about 3 hours. This is
I'm guessing downloads didn't exist on Netflix back then, so that's sort of fair enough, because the point of watching it is that it's portable. But I wouldn't have a problem watching Wolf of Wall Street on my phone. Like, I watch on TV, but still.
Perfect.
So I watched Whiplash my favorite film of all time on my phone. Didn't have a problem. I still trust David Lynch. I understand that, like, oh, he's such a great writer, director. He did Twin Peaks, because Twin Peaks is such a great show. It isn't. And there's something wrong with David Lynch.
Such a sadness that you think you've seen a film on your fucking telephone. Get real.
Can we also discuss why the hell my $9.99 per month is going towards these movies? Spice World, Master of Disguise, The Last Airbender, Demolition Man, The Co-Ed and Zombie Stoner, Troll 2, Kangaroo Jack, Santa Claus Conquers the Martians, and House of Boys Director's Cut. The most disturbing thing about Netflix are the people who comment on movies by the likes of Tyler Perry and declare that they learned a valuable life lesson. Netflix claims that you can watch TV shows and movies anytime, anywhere. If anywhere means the Western world and possibly parts of Australia, then Netflix has you covered. Kentucky Fried Chicken was founded by Harlan Sanders, who sold his fried chicken from a roadside restaurant in Corbin, Kentucky during the Great Depression. The first Kentucky Fried Chicken franchise opened in Utah in 1952. Not Kentucky. In 19...
Yeah, but you said that he started frying and selling it in Kentucky. So, the recipe, the origins of the store originates in Kentucky. He just had to move to Utah, probably because of the Great Depression and stuff. But he decided to call it Kentucky Fried Chicken because it originates from Kentucky.
1964, the rapid expansion of the brand overwhelmed Colonel Sanders, and he sold the company. In 1970, the company was sold to spirits distributor Hugh Blaine. Then that company was taken over by the R.J. Reynolds Food and Tobacco conglomerate, who then sold the Kentucky Fried Chicken chain to PepsiCo. Oh, it's Pepsi. Having been one of the first fast food chains to expand internationally to Canada, the UK, Mexico, Jamaica, and China, Kentucky Fried Chicken is now the world's second largest restaurant chain after McDonald's. In 1991, Kentucky Fried Chicken officially became KFC. It was an attempt to distance the chain from the unhealthy connotations of fried foods.
Oh, we had some problems, Colonel.
Eric, what happened?
We had a little problem.
I heard.
In 2003, KFC became the target of PETA, who protested KFC's choice of poultry suppliers, claiming that KFC purchased poultry from suppliers who mistreated animals. In 2012, Greenpeace accused KFC of using paper pulp made from Indonesian rainforests for their food packaging.
The KFC and parent company Yum Brands is driving the destruction of rainforests in Indonesia. These forests are important for endangered wildlife like the Sumatran tiger, and they're just literally trashing them and throwing them away for throwaway packaging.
In 2012, KFC violated Chinese law when it was discovered that KFC suppliers use growth hormones and excessive amounts of antibiotics in its poultry. The chain slogan used to be "Finger Licking Good." When they moved into the Chinese market, the slogan was erroneously translated into Chinese as "Eat your fingers off."
Johnny, that really hurt.
Yum Brands, a spinoff from PepsiCo who owns KFC, makes almost 50% of their profit in China, mainly from KFC. In 2012, KFC was ordered to pay the family of an Australian girl nearly $8.3 million after a salmonella poisoning at one of the franchise's stores left her in a coma for 6 months with severe brain damage. Holy crap. KFC denies responsibility and is planning to appeal. A KFC supervisor in Oregon claims he was fired after refusing direct orders from his franchise owners to serve rancid meat at his location.
I write the book, okay? Here's how it went down. You walked in, you're fired.
The franchise owner reportedly told the supervisor that serving expired food was not a big deal.
First thing we do is we add a little extra gravy to the mashed potato. That's it.
In China, you can order your KFC online and have it delivered via...
I completely forgot about that, but I'm so sorry. That's disgusting. Yeah.
bike delivery.
Is that the band LMFAO? You know, the one where they go like, I'm sexy and I know it?
In Japan, a KFC-infused Christmas tradition was born through the advertising campaign Kentucky for Christmas. For $40, Japanese consumers get chicken, cake, and champagne. What? People order their Christmas chicken dinners months in advance to avoid long lines on Christmas. Monday, July 6th is National Fried Chicken Day, so naturally, KFC does stuff like this.
National Fried Chicken. National Fried Chicken Day. Say Happy Fried Chicken Day, American.
The hashtag HowDoYouKFC ad campaign brought us this. And this. And this.
I'm gonna come in with a triangle. Coming in with a triangle. I'm gonna come in with a triangle. Okay, that's a triangle.
Just do the triangle already.
Nice.
I don't know how long I have. All I know is that I deleted a 50-minute video. So, yeah.